far as the rupee revenue is concerned, it's largely in line with expectation, a number of around 22,800 on the top line. The margins are also a bit on expected line, 16%. We were working with a number of around 15.9%, and that's about the IT service margin. Even in terms of dollars, the IT service revenue has come in bang in line with our expectation. Our poll threw up a number of $2,777 million. The number has come in at 1,778, so that's bang in line with the expectation. I just wanted to talk about a few other numbers as well with respect to the guidance of the next quarter. It stands at -2% to +1%, so it's a wider range. The street was prepared for -1 to +1, but -2 also wouldn't be that big a surprise given the fact we know that Wipro has been very, very conservative with respect to their growth and guidance as well. The total bookings of the quarter was around $3.7 billion, so that's something to watch out for. If I remember it right, it's a smidge lower than what the company reported last time. And even if you look at the voluntary attrition, that has come in at an 8-quarter low number. It stands at around 14% now. In terms of the management commentary, well, Jatin Dalal says that the ongoing focus on operational improvement has ensured that the margin remains steady even in a softening revenue environment. Their margin stood at 16%, which is actually an expansion of 112 basis points. The cash generation is also quite strong. Sandeep, let me first come to you. The guidance of -2 to +1%, and the fact that this time around at least there's no big disappointment on the top line. There is a bit of a disappointment on the bottom line, but I'm guessing there must be a one-off there.
No, so these numbers again, I would compare them similar to TCS, broadly in line on all parameters. And guidance also, I think the expected range was between -2 to +1 and -2 to 0. So I think to that extent, I would say that, guidance is also in line with estimate. Margins are also in line with estimate. The positive thing is that, attrition has cooled off substantially. So when attrition cools off, then margins come back. So I think it is a good sign and it is a decent number. I would not say there is any big disappointment in the numbers.
At least Wipro is not coming out with a disappointment. Mahantesh, your first take on the numbers. The dollar revenue is bang in line with expectation. Actually, a smidge on the operating margins, so profits are lower, and for guidance they're talking about -2 to +1% range.
So firstly, the -2.8% quarter-on-quarter number when compared to the guidance that they given last time, which was -3 to -1, is at the lower end of that band. So to that extent, it's slightly disappointing in the sense that they weren't able to beat their guidance by a substantial number. As far as margin is concerned, it is more or less steadier compared to what it was in the past few quarters. It was 16.3 actually in quarter 4 and again 16.3 in quarter 3 of last year. But this time it's 16%, not materially different, but still a bit lower. So on both these counts, I would reckon that the result is a tad bit disappointing. And as far as the guidance go, it's only marginally better than what they had given the last time around. From -3 to -1% has become -2 to +1%. So,
as far as this quarter earnings are concerned, largely in line with expectation. The dollar revenue has come in at $2,778 million versus our expectation of $2,777. Yes, it is at the fag end of the range, but the street, I think, was prepared for that. Margins have been held up as far as 16% is concerned. On the profitability, there is a bit of a decline, but I'm guessing there is some one-off element there because it's looking a lot lower than what the street was expecting. Guidance is also a wider range. The street was expecting it's going to be -1 to +1. They have opened the door to a decline of -2% as well, and that coming after the -3% decline that we saw in this quarter. So yes, there is weakness, but my guess is that the street was prepared for this weakness. And as far as Wipro is concerned, it looks like an all-right set. Deal bookings are on the lower side sequentially, but let's see. The market seems to be in a mood that they are giving the thumbs up to the IT earnings.